Well, hey, folks, it's your old pal King Waspinator here. Just wanted to make a little quick video that I didn't really feel like I needed to go to the point of actually filming and editing or anything. Because just as a quick little recommendation for something I discovered yesterday while browsing around on Disney+. There's a show called Earth to NED, which is done by the Jim Henson Company. It looked like it might be a little childish, but I decided, give it a couple minutes shot just to see what it was like. And I ended up binge watching half of it. It's an incredibly charming show. In many ways, I would say it's kind of like the spiritual successor or offspring of Farscape and a late night comedy show like Conan O'Brien or Stephen Colbert, or, pick your late night comedian of choice. It's incredibly charming, incredibly charming. In terms of why it reminds me of Farscape, obviously it's the Jim Henson Company doing aliens, and so it's going to have those kinds of overtones. The main character, Ned, is kind of reminiscent of Pilot. Like, if you were to imagine, take Farscape and the character Pilot from Farscape, if he was hosting his own late-night talk show, that's kind of what this is like. Interesting side characters. The Claudes totally steal the show. If you're wanting to check it out and you're a little hesitant on wanting to watch something like that, go ahead and skip episode 3. It has Billy D. Williams and Reggie Watts as guests. It's like a good starting point if you're just curious about the show and don't know if you really want to sink your time into it. My wife had done a little research about the description of the show after I got her to watch a little bit of it. And from what she was reading of the show description, they're presenting it as a kids show that adults can watch. But I kind of think it's really more the other way around. Who likes Jim Henson stuff? I mean, who's into Muppets and puppets? It's not really little kids. It's those of us adults who were raised on the Muppet Show and Fraggle Rock and all that kind of stuff that I feel like is the most appealing to. And, like the guests, like what little kid's going to care about Paul Schreer? No one. It's definitely a show that's really more kind of mentally geared for adults, but designed so that kids can watch it. And a lot of the adult humor and references just kind of shoots right over their head. I mean, they did actually manage to work in a joke about, it's not how big your deck is, it's how you use it. I mean, come on. So I guess it maybe has that little bit of that SpongeBob quality to it, perhaps. Or yeah, there's things in there that really only adult audience members are going to watch. Like I said, I thought it was going to be a kids show, and admittedly, there are a few things about it that are rather silly. However, if you're willing to overlook that, it's really enjoyable. And like I said, it's incredibly charming. And so really not much else to say about that. I just feel that this show could use an audience. So if you subscribe to Disney Plus and were a fan of Farscape or other Jim Henson type creations and would like to see a talk show that looks like it's taking place on Moya, then I'd recommend checking out Earth to NED. It definitely gets an official Team Waspinator seal of approval. And that's all I have to say about that.